If you've been following along since the very beginning, you already know that in a few of the previous lessons we used the undo feature. And the way we used it was to try something out, and if we didn't like it, we could just undo it. And that's a great use for undo. Now, undo can also come in handy if you make a mistake. You can undo that mistake and start over. Well, there's also a redo feature that allows us to undo undos, if that makes sense. We're going to try that out in a second. And there's also a history that goes with that, so you can undo multiple steps at one time if you needed to. Alright, so we've been working away here on Process 11C. To get all caught up with us, you can go to the Open button if you're skipping to this lesson and open up Process 11D. So that's in your Lesson 11 folder of your exercise files. Open that and you'll be all caught up with us. Alright, so we're going to use this process diagram to make a couple of changes and then see what happens when we undo them. So let's start by going up to Access Technical Feasibility. We'll click on this shape here, and specifically we'll click down below here where we see average time in days is 3. So I'm going to double click and I'm going to type in 5 days, and I'm just going to click outside the box here, and you can see that's actually a mistake. I thought I was changing the 3 to 5 days, but I've actually added text to the middle here. It looks messy. So I can go to my keyboard. The shortcut is Control Z, holding down the Control key, tap the letter Z and then release both. Or I can go up to my standard toolbar. There's my undo button. I should be able to find it here under Edit as well, and when I do, I see a little more information. Undo set text. That's what I actually did. So if I click undo set text, it's undone. I click outside here to see that everything's back to normal. Alright, so let's do a couple other things and see if we can undo multiple mistakes. So we're going to click on this box and hit delete on the keyboard. That removes it. Let's delete another one. It's gone, and we'll delete a third one, and it's like, oh, I thought that these would close up automatically. I guess they're not properly connected and it doesn't look right. So we need to undo. Now the undo button allows us, if we want to click it 3 times, to undo all 3 of those steps. Now there is a little drop down next to it. You can see it right here. And you can see we've got 3 deletes, and we can undo 1, 2, or 3 actions all at once. So I'm going to click right down here on the third one. Look at that, they all come back. Now you may have noticed that the redo button just became active, and if I click that drop down, I can undo the undo that I just did. So the first, second, or third delete, I could redo all of those things. And it's only the first one that I wanted, so I click on it and only the first deletion is in effect. So in that case, I could do something different if I wanted to, or I could undo it by bringing it back with the undo button. So that's undo. Keep in mind that you've got that history. You're not limited to just undoing the last task or the last step. You can undo multiple steps using that history or the drop down next to the button.